You're
That pose, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are The Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And here is our review for The Greatest Showman. That's right, we are finally doing The Greatest Showman review after so many people keep asking in the comments on various videos and on Twitter, and we just hadn't gotten to it. So we're finally getting to it now. I'm going to start this review off by saying that if you went into this movie thinking you were going to get the true story of P.T. Barnum, kind of like I did, you're going to be disappointed. That's not where you're going to get. It's more of, I want to say it's more like inspired.
A fantasy version.
Yeah, like inspired by him and like the show business and the spectacle that is.
Yeah.
But P.T. Barnum, like Hugh Jackman's portrayal of P.T. Barnum is definitely not the P.T. Barnum that is known in history.
Yeah.
Like this happy-go-lucky, nice to everybody. Like he was not a nice man.
Well, I do have to admit though, a lot of the events that happen.
The events that
happen. It's kind of like take a story of this guy that had the same events that happened in his life as P.T. Barnum, put it to a musical, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, there you go. So I will start with what I liked about it, and you guys could tell from watching our trailer reaction. I think we did 2 of them, and I was absolutely in love with the trailer. I was like, wow, the cinematography looks beautiful, the colors are vibrant, look at the choreography, listen to the songs. I'm gonna love it, and I loved the songs. I loved each performance number. There's some that I favor more than the others. I will say, like, the opening number was fantastic. The Other Side with Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman was fantastic.
That was a fun number.
Rewrite the Stars and This Is Me. I would say that's like my top 4. I did like the dancing that Hugh Jackman and Michelle Williams did on the rooftop, but it's not one of my favorites. So I absolutely loved all the performance numbers. What I really enjoyed about the performances is because oftentimes in musicals and also in fight choreography movies, they like to get like the camera up and close.
Yeah.
And then you can't see it. And then they're like, why does this suck? Because you can't see it. That's what the audience go and see. Imagine going to see John Wick and all you saw was like gun shaky cam.
Yeah.
But you're not seeing, you know, John Wick doing his thing.
And they had a lot of really good master shots where they pulled back. You're able to see all the choreography. You're just able to see all the different parts of the set, of the dancing, of the lighting, and it really gives you a lot more of a feeling of the environment that you're in and the entire feel of the dancing and the choreography that they're doing, as opposed to just getting up really close and have, like, what is that called? The MTV syndrome, where it's fast cut, close up, here,
yeah,
move.
I hate
And it's like,
that so much.
Things with musicals, you really need to show the entire world that you're in, and that was something that this movie did insanely well. I was actually really excited to see all of it, and you know what? I could really see them just taking this musical off of the big screen and putting it right on stage. I can see this.
It's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be much having to tweak it here and there, but there is one thing that I think may or may not improve it. And I wanted to hear your opinion on this.
Okay, wait, but are we? Okay, no, go ahead. Sorry, you're on a wave. Let's do it. Let's write it out.
Because yes, that was obviously the biggest strength of this movie.
Yeah.
However, I'd say the weakest part of this movie was kind of the dialogue in between. I kind of felt, now, I think you disliked it a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
You were pulled out of the reality a lot more often when they stopped the songs or switched or did a transition.
And I'll go through them right after you.
But I wasn't that bothered by it. But I thought a way to have a good compromise with that would to make it kind of like, do it like a Rent, like how Rent was done, where everything was sung, everything was, even the dialogue parts in between. It was still musical. And it would have been, I think it would have changed that world just a little bit.
Oh man,
to
that would
where
have been
you
so
can
good.
accept all of these quick little, we have a problem, it's solved. We have a problem.
Yeah, and it has to be because, and I completely agree with you, and if they do take this to stage, I would love to see it a la Rent in that style all the way through, and I think it would make it so much better because the focus of if you took this movie onto stage would be the dance. People would go and see the dance numbers.
Yeah.
And you know, and what I really didn't like in between is what pulled me out of the movie immediately is when the movie opened, whoa, and you have these amazing beats and sounds and the silhouette of Hugh Jackman ready to go, and you're
that pose, ladies and gents, it's the moment you've been waiting for. I kind of wanted to open up the review like that. I wanted to be like, hey, everyone, just go, this is the moment that you've been waiting for.
We don't even have a top hat.
I know. That's why I didn't do it. I would have just done it with my Star Wars hat. But they grab you.
Yeah, they grabbed that, and that opening number really grabbed me right from the start. I absolutely loved it. But then when Hugh Jackman goes into the slower part where I can't even remember the words right now, but when the camera kind of spins around him and he kind of slows down, and initially I thought it was his realization of like, it was the circus fading away, are we going to like the downfall of P.T. Barnum and then picking it back up, what's happening, and they used that transition to do a flashback, and it was so abrupt from such a great number, a great energetic number, and you just kind of like, sorry, roadblock, and I was like, wait, what the heck just happened? And immediately I was like, no, they could have slowly transitioned out of that. They could have transitioned into that when he was on the rooftop talking to his kids after he lost his job.
Yeah.
When he was spinning the little wishing machine that he made for his daughter, that would have been a great transition into it, and then bring it back to reality and then say, hey guys, I have an idea. We're going to go into show business. I'm going to start this museum. So and that's kind of the problem for me, the flaw of the movie, or the flaw of the movie was for me, was I really loved all the musical numbers. I can't say it enough. I have the soundtrack on repeat on my Spotify, and I just sing along to it. But all the dialogue in between was, in my opinion, kind of fluffy. Like, I understand they served its purpose and it moved the movie along, sure, and yes, it served its purpose. But like a soap opera type, a problem escalated very quickly, but it was dissolved or resolved just as quickly. And I was like, but I couldn't wrap my mind around that, even the second time we saw it. And I had to take Dustin to see it the second time, because when I saw this movie, I thought, this is not a movie that you watch later at home on a smaller screen. This is something you need to experience with the surround sound, in Prime if you have it, or IMAX if they show an IMAX, but it needs to be on the biggest screen possible, because you need to feel the effect of like a theater, the musical, and the grandeur of the whole thing. But everything in between is just like, I was like, are you kidding me right now? Everything's resolved. Like, for example, when the movie's out now, so I'm just going to spoil it. I'll put a little spoiler somewhere on the screen, but spoiler alert. So when he goes with Jenny to her tour, and she kind of falls in love with him, so she orchestrates this kiss, and then, you know, obviously it gets shown in the papers, comes home, the wife is upset, and she's like, I'm leaving, and then, of course, like, the bank is, like, taking the house and everything, but it was so escalated. Like, there wasn't much of, like, seeing his wife's side of things when she, like, had she opened up the paper and saw that picture, and that's all I needed, like an over-the-shoulder shot of her looking at the paper and closing it, and then him coming in through the door, and she says, I'm leaving, I think that would have solved a lot of the problems for me. Yeah. Just something right beforehand to establish it. And then, like, he goes after her, and then they have, like, a conversation on the beach. She's like, okay, I love you. I was like, but, I mean, I get it. He didn't really actually cheat on her in the movie, but... Yeah. But it was very escalated very quickly, very dramatically, and then it, like, just resolved just as quickly.
And I think that's what would, I mean, having that part to where everything is set to music and everything is kind of sung would have it, would help it out. Yes. Because you will have that distension of disbelief, or suspension of disbelief. I'm like, wait, that's not the right word. Suspension of disbelief, where you can be like, okay, it can be a little bit more big problems, everything's solved. Yeah. Kind of thing, kind of reaction to a lot of the problems in the film.
Yeah. I'm also reading online that a lot of people think the songs sound the same, and I feel like some of them do, like the Michelle Williams and Hugh Jackman one, whose name I can't remember because it's not one of my, like, more favorite songs, but that one repeated, like, the melody of it kind of repeated throughout the movie. Wicked kind of, to me, had the same problem. Yeah. I like Wicked just as much. I really enjoyed, so that wasn't really a problem. I think my main problem was, like, the fluff stuff in the middle that I was just like, meh. So when I went back to see it the second time, I kind of zoned out in the between. Like, luckily, it was quick. And it was just like big number, big number, big number, big number. So I enjoyed it the second time around as well. Well, that's pretty much it for the review portion of the video. Let's just go ahead and move on to rating. Dustin, your rating for The Greatest Showman.
Well, for The Greatest Showman, this is something
Wait. Rate it. Okay, rate the movie and then rate the soundtrack. You have to. You have to with this movie.
Okay, the soundtrack is awesome. The soundtrack is you gotta listen to it. You gotta check it out. I mean, it's a really good soundtrack, and I'm going to be giving the movie the same kind of review. You want to check it out. I mean, if you like musicals, if you like that kind of the big Moulin Rouge kind of numbers,
Baz Luhrmann,
then you're going to enjoy this movie. Go and check it out. If you can still catch it on the big screen, I would. If musicals aren't really your thing, then go ahead and rent it. Because it really depends on where you lie on musicals and how much you enjoy them. If you enjoy them, go see it on a big screen. If not, you can get away with renting it and just listening to the music.
You know what's funny is a lot of the comments we had gotten in the trailer reactions asking us for us to do this review was that I spotted a couple of people saying they're not into musicals, they saw and they absolutely loved it. So I think this could be a game changer for the people who aren't as into musicals. My ratings for the soundtrack, we don't really have like a rating system for this one, so I'm gonna give it just a number, 10 out of 10 for the musical. No, I change it. 9.5 out of 10 for the couple of songs that I don't like. But you need to either go out and buy the CD, download it on iTunes, or download it on Spotify or whatever you listen to, because it is so good. Like when you're stuck in a traffic jam, just rock out to the song, sing on the top of your lungs. Nobody can hear you. It's gonna be great. For the movie, my rating is check it out. I think it's the same reason as Dustin and why I begged him to see it with me the second time around in the theater was this is something you should absolutely experience in the theater. It just won't have the same feel at home. Now later on when it comes out on Blu-ray, I think I want to buy it just so I can experience the numbers over and over again. But if the movie is still in theaters, do yourself a favor and catch it, because it's probably about to leave the theater if it's still in it at all. Catch it. If not, then I guess you're gonna have to do the Netflix Redbox DVD thing.
And hopefully you just have a really good home entertainment system.
But some people do. They have a really big TV. Well, you guys, that is our review for The Greatest Showman. Sorry that it came out so late, but we felt kind of obligated to do it, even though it's super late in the game, because, well, why not? So in the comment section below, let us know if you've seen the movie, what you thought of it, what rating you would give, and also, if The Greatest Showman went and became a musical, would you go and see it? Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out our Patreon if you haven't yet. Support us, and we'll see you in the next video.